ಹೋಗೋಣ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗೋಣ. Hello, is it audible now? Hello, is it audible? Okay. Yeah.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರಗಳು. ಶುಭ ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ. Sorry, we had some technical issue, so we are starting a little bit late. Good afternoon to everyone. Change is the end result of all true learning. Learning never exhausts mind. It takes energy, passion, and a burning desire to know more. Our program aims at fulfilling the desire of attaining more knowledge. It is a privilege for me to welcome the intelligent and interested minds who have gathered here for this 5 days national level faculty development program on emerging trends in technology, future perspective, which is the key factor of today's education. I am Dr. M.S. Vidya, in charge principal and IQC coordinator of Abbas College for Women. To inaugurate this program, we have amidst us a multifaceted personality and an eminent scholar. I'm happy to introduce you all the chief guest of today's program, Dr. K.E. Radhakrishna sir, an educationalist, writer, artist, musicologist, columnist, excellent orator, political leader, and whatnot. I deem it a great pleasure to present his profile on this occasion. He is qualified with MA in English Literature and LLB from Bangalore University. He began his career as a teacher in English at Sheshadripuram College. He became the youngest professor in collegiate education and adorned the principalship of Sheshadripuram and Surana colleges in Bangalore. He has the distinction of being one of the longest standing principals of the degree colleges in India. Later on, he started Samudra Foundation and served as the managing director. He is an institution builder and an institution by himself. Professor has held various key positions in education and related fields during the last 4 decades, nationally and internationally. He has been selected as a member of expert committee from UGC, peer committee member in NAC, member of higher committee in framing higher education policies, coordinating secretary of think tank of collegiate education, Government of Karnataka, Bangalore Management Association, and National Institute of Personal Management, New Delhi. His ideas are shared in academic meetings held both nationally and internationally, including Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Cincinnati, and San Diego in USA. He has participated in several international conferences, such as International Kannada Conference held at Manchester, UK, and Baltimore, USA, Commonwealth Legal Educators Conference, University Management Systems, Maryland University, and at City Polytechnic of Hong Kong. He is a regular speaker in All India Radio, Doordarshan, and a regular columnist for several Kannada dailies. Apart from academics, Professor Radhakrishna is actively into field of art and culture himself. He himself being a Yakshigan and theatre artist, he served Karnataka Sangeeta Nritya Academy as a member and is associated with many cultural forums of Bangalore. He was the executive member of South Zone Cultural Center, Tanjavur. He has contributed a lot in field of literature too. He is well versed in Kannada, English, Tulu and Sanskrit languages and a well-known poet, playwright, writer in all these languages. He has contributed a lot in the field of literature too. He is well versed in Kannada, English, Tulu and Sanskrit languages and a well-known poet, playwright in all these languages too. He has many books to his credit. I would like to mention a few. Kanna Kadu, which has won Attimabe Award and Kannada Sahitya Pradhikara Award. Gopikon Mada poetry translated from Sanskrit language has come in the form of CD, sung by popular singers and was presented as dance drama too. It is translated into Malayalam, Telugu, Tamil, Tulu, Hindi, Marathi and Bengali in the form of music. Bharti Samudra poetry collection, Akash Dalibinki collection of articles, Satyappa Bedalu, a collection of short stories which has won the best book in 2012 from Karnataka Tulu Sahitya Academy. Recently, he has translated Pakistani writer Imtiazar Hussein's Stories of Partition into Kannada by name Navil Purana. It is being dramatized now. His contributions have been recognized by Government of Karnataka and many popular organizations, which has confirmed him with many awards. He has been awarded the prestigious Rajyotsav Prashasti from Government of Karnataka. The Public Relations Council of India has bestowed on him the National Chanakya Award of Education. He has been awarded honorary doctorate by the Karnataka State Open University, Mysore, for his contribution to literature and education. Recently, he is awarded for D.Litt for his scholarly thesis in governance in Ramayana as exposed in original Valmiki Ramayana from Shri University. Recognizing his contributions in the field of education and literature, Government of Karnataka made a documentary on him titled Elasiri. He has extended his activities to the field of politics too. He is currently the chairman of Vichara Vedike. We are very happy to have such an accomplished personality to inaugurate this 5 days national level FDP. We are very honored to have you today, sir, amidst these technical issues. Kindly bear with us. I'm extremely happy to welcome our Secretary, Dr. Zainuddin Ahmad, Secretary of Central Muslim Association of Karnataka, who is the backbone of our institution, always encouraging us in all our endeavors. He was recently awarded Karnataka Ratna by Karnataka Sanskrit Academy, Bengaluru. I extremely welcome you too, sir. I'm delighted to welcome all the participants who are learned professors, lecturers from various departments nationwide. I hope the program will enrich your knowledge still more and expand your horizons. I'll be failing in my duty if I don't welcome our very own IQSC team and faculty members who have taken keen initiative to plan this national level FDP. I once again welcome one and all. I really hope the technical issue will be solved as early as possible. Now I request Professor Radhakrishna to inaugurate this session. And I welcome Dr. Geeta Prakash, who is the speaker of today's session. Thank you, sir.
Radhakrishna sir, you can unmute at your end. Radhakrishna sir, you can unmute at your end.
Hello, can you see me? Razia Bhai, Razia B.
Yes, sir.
Hello,
Yes, sir.
can you hear me? I can't.
Sir, you are
Hello?
unmuted. We can hear you.
Okay. ಹಿಂದ್ಗಡೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಬಾ
What, sir?
ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂತ.
Sir, we are hearing you. You can continue.
You can hear me, but I'm not visible. Can you see
So
me?
you want a video, sir, from your end?
Can you see me?
Sir, I am not able to see you.
What do I do?
Sir, in your video button is there. You just on that. Stop video, start video is there, right, sir? Next to that. Sir. Sir, can you hear? Hello, sir. Radhakrishnan, sir. Sir, please unmute at your end.
Video is stopped.
Please on the video.
Video is. ಏನಾಗಿದೆಪ್ಪ? ಆಗ ಬಂತಲ್ಲ.
ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್.
Sir, you just click on that video option, sir, next to your mic. Radhakrishnan, sir. Hello, Radhakrishnan, sir. Please unmute at your end and you can start, sir. Start inaugurating.
I unmuted.
Yeah.
You start.
And next to that button only you have video button.
I don't understand what is happening.
Sir, next to that
where is
unmute
the
button,
video
you
button?
have one video button. Next to that unmute icon.
I think I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
I think we make it now audible, and I've requested a friend of mine. Let us see.
Sure, sir, sure.
Okay.
You are being seen now, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Sorry.
No issue, sir. Even we had issues. Sorry for
you want me to
inconvenience
talk?
from our end.
ನಾನು ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. Meghana, come here. I have my young friend Meghana assisting me.
Thank you, sir. Sure.
Okay. But I can't hear any one of you. See,
So you can hear me now?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
I can hear, but I can't see any one of you.
Sir, all others have on off their videos.
Oh, okay. Now, okay. Okay, now I'm ready.
Yes, sir.
I can see you, madam,
Thank you, sir.
at last.
Thank you, sir.
Uh,
You can start the inaugural address, sir.
Pushpalata, madam. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Do you want me to start now?
Yes, sir. Start the inaugural address, sir.
Okay. I can also see Chandan now. I'm extremely. Chandan changes his dress quite often. That's something very interesting, and it is technology. I'm extremely happy that Abbas Khan Women College is always in the forefront of some innovation. My association with the Abbas Khan College lasts almost about 3 decades plus. I heard very, why 3 decades? When it started, a very eminent English professor, Mrs. Mansoor, headed it. Her husband, Hassan Mansoor, also was a great writer and a good friend of mine. And I've had a very good association with the management of the Central Muslim Association of Karnataka, and very pleasant that they have contributed so immensely to the cause of education, women education, more so of girls coming from Muslim community, the backward Muslim communities. The scholarship they provide, the affordable fees they provide.
Sir. Radha Krishna, sir. Hello. Radha Krishna, sir, did you leave? Are you there? Yes, sir. So you please unmute at your end.
No,
yes,
I'm
sir.
doing it, but what happened?
Yeah.
Suddenly your
Technique.
microphone muted me.
Okay, sir.
Hello?
No issues. No issues. Continue, sir.
Now, I was telling that Abbas Khan Women's College has done such immense service to the cause of education, more so of women education, more so of girls coming from backward Muslim communities. And it's a overall social effect, cultural effect on the entire society is so big, so great. And Mrs. Mansoor, the first principal of that college, her husband Hassan Mansoor, both were my very good friends and very good writers in English. Both were English professors. And the management of Abbas Khan College, there were so many
So your net,
so
you have
so many eminent citizens of Bangalore have contributed for that education, especially from Central Muslim Central Muslim Committee. Having said that, now having failed of my illiteracy, my incompetency in operating technology doesn't mean that technology has become ineffective. Unfortunately, I have not perhaps updated myself. I belong to the old methodology of present educational behavior, I'll call it. And therefore, it's my fault, not technology's fault. Let apart. Now, what are the emerging trends in happening in the educational sector? When we were students, of course, about especially in the college, and today, there is a sea change. It was
Continue, sir. We can hear you.
because some friend interfered in between and my phone stopped. Now, my illiteracy, my ignorance, my incompetence should not be a judgment for the management of technology as a pedagogy in the new educational system. I was telling that way back in 60s or 70s, when we were student, I was a student, you all belong to younger generation, and it was only chalk talk method. In the colleges, not even chalk method, it was a talk method. Maybe teachers belonging to science departments and geography, etc., used extensively the blackboard. But the blackboard technology has changed today. From the speaking boards have come, the digital boards have come, the greener boards have come, the glass boards have come, and the responsive boards have come. They're all technology, of course. This technology has very, very immensely contributed for the quick grasping and the quick understanding and comprehension of education. Now, what are the basic skills in education we require? First, it is reading. That means literacy. One will have to be able to read whatever it is written, either in the blackboard or the books or the notes, etc. Basic skill. But before reading, there is one more skill, that is speaking. And somebody will have to speak. Speaking, the first linguistic skill one will have to acquire. And the teacher speaks. That is the teaching learning process. What has happened? Teacher simplifies the syllabus, speaks, he or she speaks, writes on the blackboard or gives dictate notes, and then corrects them, etc. So reading and writing skills. But reading and writing skill can be superfluous. The teacher who reads, the teacher who writes knows that whatever he is doing, writing, etc., he comprehends. But whether the students have comprehended, and therefore comprehension skill is the most important skill you have. That is a comprehension skill. Hope you hear me. Hello? Hope you hear me. Do you hear me?
Sorry, sir.
You hear me, everybody?
You are audible, sir.
Okay. And then what happened? The comprehension skill. How do we have a comprehension skill? Assessments have come. Project work has come. Practicals have come for science. In humanities also, project work slowly later started. When I was a student, there was no project work at all. Later now, including literature, grammar, etc., started getting a project mode, project module. The extension of all these things became technology. What was manual technology became now machine-dependent technology. Mission-dependent technology is technology how? The outcome of science. There are two things you know about science. The first is science, a theoretical approach, a possible approach, a hypothetical approach. If you do this, it will happen. That's what science tells you. And then implementation of that knowledge into an applicable practical approach is called technology. That becomes technology, you know very well. Somebody discovers medicine, for example. That is pure science. After discovering medicine, you administer that on rats or some animals and then human beings ultimately, experiment and you come down to reduce it to a theory. Once that theory practically proved and again proved, questioned, re-examined and proved, a doctor without any hesitation, a patient without any hesitation takes that prescribed tablet without even bothering about how, whether it affects him or not. And he doesn't blame the technology at all. That is how technology has interfered into our lives and sustained our lives in the health sector. And thus, in pedagogy, what happened? In pedagogy, technology is a very, very of recent phenomenon. Maybe maximum 3 decades. I remember, I'm not talking about myself. In Seshadripuram College, when I was the principal, I got the first computer in Bangalore city and loaded encyclopedia for that. It was a marvel then. And later, so many institutions, colleges have overtaken my alumni Seshadripuram or Surana colleges. And technology has become so handy to simplify comprehension level. I was telling you, comprehension level, and it started actually strengthening the linguistic skill of the student, the understanding skill of the student. And therefore, today I would tell you, in earlier days, we would say, oh, getting 50 marks is something very great. Now the kids get 100 marks out of 100, so many. And how it is possible? It is possible because the youngsters of today have a better comprehension skill thanks to technology. Thanks to technology, they would understand to the perfection, they would try to express themselves. The last skill is expression skill. Comprehension skill itself will not do. You need to express yourself. You need to tell people, understand people, and tell them what you have learned and how it is useful to you and how it is useful to the people. They say to make your life, either earning money or not earning money is not a very important issue in life. It is making a life. How it makes men-making education, we say. Vivekananda said men-making education. Men-making education is not becoming very, very knowledgeable. It is converting this knowledge into practical life. What is practical life? Our emotional life, our cultural life, our economic life, and our day-to-day conducting ourselves, our physical life. To that technology helps. And therefore, that is called expression level. And then comes expertise mode. What is expertise mode? Everybody cannot become expert in everything. And therefore, somebody becomes an economist, somebody a scientist, somebody a computer person, somebody an automobile engineer, somebody a historian, somebody a writer, etc., etc., etc. Now, when having said that, look at now. And all this education became certification oriented. Certification oriented also is a very recent phenomena. About 100 years, it has got certifications. But today, certification per se, therefore, even today when we say degree, somebody is a BA degree or MA degree, you don't call it MSc. You don't call it degree, you call it diploma. What do you mean by diploma? Diploma means you have some implementationable practical knowledge of the knowledge you have acquired. And certification also, now technology has made certification also not that very, very important. You will find if you go to get into any mobile shop, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th standard.
Sir, can you please
children,
check your network, sir, at your end?
Pardon?
Network.
Huh?
Wi-Fi ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
Huh?
Radhakrishna, sir,
I'm coming.
can you please just check your network at your end?
What?
Network ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ವಂತೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ.
Network I have. Wait. I'll just find out. I have proper network. I have network. Can you hear me? I have network. Somebody,
So we can hear
somebody
you
messaged
clearly now.
no issues. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Now we have gone beyond certification. Therefore, the recent emerging trend is skill-oriented education. It is our maximum two decades old. The companies, the recruiting companies, the job-giving companies bothered much more to the skill somebody acquires rather than the mark somebody got it. Now, therefore, today's education today we find, well, there are so many defects. Whether it is any program, including history today, we have something called project supported program. That is to make it relevant for making your life relevant. And therefore, that's called a skill. Now, skill-oriented programs came recently. India is such a massive country with a massive population of youngsters. To blame the government, the policymakers, and so, at one go may not be actually right, because we need so much of infrastructure. Infrastructure doesn't mean only about the mobiles on the hand, doesn't mean the networks, etc. Optic fiber, it doesn't mean that. Infrastructure means actually the infrastructure wired within one's brain to accept something novelty. All of us have the fear of new, and something new comes, we are afraid because we would like to get cocooned in a protected system, and something new comes, we don't accept so easily. It's a human mind. Actually, it's the situation in the human mind. So these are the things that developing. I said, ultimately what happened? There is one great, so much of advantage today. Look at the greatness of technology. Have we 5 years back imagined that there could be a Zoom meeting? Have we imagined that there will be a Google Meet? We could not imagine that. And today, it has become, could anybody imagine that somebody could work from home, and the productivity of working from home was as much as working in the office, going to the office. And this is how human society during COVID, when everything was locked down, not only the physical external things locked down, even our minds locked down sometimes, and how human society reacted to a new situation, you're discovering so many apps. Apps means application-oriented system. And how we did it. It is all technology. Today, I, as the principal, always used to actually, not only me, my colleagues, every one of us, never allowed any student to bring mobile. And we said mobiles are banned. If somebody brings mobile, we would fine them 100 rupees, 200 rupees, snatch their mobiles. And look at the situation. It became rather a very inevitable tool in the hands of educationists. It became online education, became how we responded. I come from a village where that network issues are there. It is a forest area. But I found out the local teacher, just 7th, 8th standard, would take the students to the top of a hill. There he would join them together. And then through his mobile and others' mobile, take these online classes. That's how human society, human mind approach, not perfect. But technology cannot be a final solution, I would like to tell you. You can buy an excellent a plant seed, a flower seed, or a vegetable seed online. You can buy manure online. You can buy the bags to grow it online. You can buy even water online. But you cannot ferment them online, and you cannot sow the seed online. You cannot create a flower out of that seed and plant online. It requires a human touch. It requires a human touch. Everything can be managed online. Your food, Zomato, this and that, everything can be on. But if the food comes, eating will have to be done by yourself. That is where the human touch you can never ignore the human touch. The human sparsha, what we call it. Therefore, in the Indian education, not only Indian education system, and the entire world system, take it Roman, Greek, Chinese, Mesopotamian. Well, all this, look at this little baby I am seeing now, Raziabi, that little baby. And that baby is the creation of nature, God, and it's a human creature, human creation. Likewise, that the human touch is required. And therefore, the chalk talk method, we have traveled so much to the digital boards. I told you, computer managed. It used to be TAT, technology assisted teaching. Then it became CAT, computer assisted teaching. Then it became OAT, online assisted teaching. So much so that you need not go to the theater. On OTT format you can see. Theater you can see. The music you can hear. Why? So many pujas came into your bedroom and you can have darshan of gods, relaxing, etc. Whether that sanctity remained, that seriousness remained, whether it has made our life very, very casual and insensitive many times, is a different question to answer, for which we should not blame anybody. We should not blame God, because through internet we can get our God to come home and witness him while eating. We can see his abhishekam, puja, etc., namaz and everything we can hear, or prayers in the church, or Gurudhan of the Sikhs we can hear. Doesn't mean that we should blame God for that. It's not God to be blamed. It is we who have used like that. I remember one thing. I was just looking at the data that kitchen knife was invented. Why kitchen knife was invented? Earlier it was stone. And then from that metal, we invented kitchen knife. We invented kitchen knife to cut our food things and then boil them and eat and help us. But I was surprised to read a data that the same kitchen knife was responsible for deaths more than the death occurred in Second World War. Imagine. Now we blame bombs. Man invented nuclear bombs, etc. But the kitchen knife itself has killed so many people. Who is responsible for that? Man. And therefore, the fingertip we control our internet. We should have control over our fingertip. We should have control over fingertip. Physical control of our psychological urges and psychological situation. It is said now that the students are internet struck. There's a new disease now. Students are internet struck. They have become addicts to mobile. They have addicts become WhatsApp, Facebook, etc., etc., etc. Well, that is such addictions are there. I don't say those addictions are not there. But we should find a way. A teacher, who is a teacher? Everybody thinks I'm a mathematics teacher, I'm an English teacher, I'm a physics teacher, I'm an economics teacher. They miss a great point. They only simplify the syllabus of mathematics or English literature or Urdu or whatever it is. They are teachers. A teacher's job is a guide, is a margadarsha. While using mobile to teach mathematics, the teacher tells its users and advantages and disadvantages. He has to caution them. He has to teach them. Now, these trends I told you. The first I began telling that. First, listening, reading, comprehending, writing, expressing doesn't stop there. Education doesn't stop there. At the level of higher secondary SSLC, you are supposed to have mastered all these skills. Basic mathematics, basic science, basic civics, basic history, etc., etc. After that, when you come for Snatak, what we call, or the graduation level, you have got a greater responsibility. When you come to the graduation level, you are in search. In search of what? In search of an expertise in a knowledge of a particular field, and to become that earn your own livelihood. Livelihood doesn't mean only livelihood has so many other definitions, etc. I'm not now elaborating that. And now at the end, if you are a serious student, serious researcher, it is said when you leave your SSLC, you become the true student, or pre-university, then you become a student. How? You are in search of a particular discipline.
Excuse me,
you
sir.
follow
2
that.
minutes.
And ultimately, you have a darshana, what we call, and research. One research point you should find out. That is very, very important. Therefore, we say vachana to darshana. That is, Dr. Rupa also is there. Vachana to darshan. And for this, how technology helps? Technology strengthens your legs and physical apparatus of the body. I call it physical apparatus. No organ is very important. All organs coordinated is very important. Technology now strengthens your apparatus to fill yourself inside your spiritual, not adhyatmic, your inner content properly. Technology helps. That is a new trend. The new trends are internet education. Now Google, Guru, Google.
Sir, excuse me, sir. Sorry to interrupt. 2 more minutes for the inaugural address.
Okay,
Sir.
I'm
We
done.
have a speaker.
I'm winding up.
Yeah.
That's my problem. And
No issues.
Google is there. Anything you get on Google. But whatever you get on Google, later you have to apply by going to books. Google gives a point of view and number of references. Everybody goes to Google, finds out, but then reference books they don't see. You will have to go to the reference books. Books are the companion. The physical books are the companion of a teacher. The physical touch with the students are the companion of a teacher. Technology can only assist. Technology can never, what is the new trends? Instagrams, Google, Wikipedia. There are Wikimedia also. Wikipedia, entire news available on you. Hundreds and thousands of WhatsApps, ever increasing startup WhatsApps are going to come. Externally, all these things will help us to become quicker, easier, but it should help us to become proper. We will have to become proper human beings. To become proper human beings, technology is a walking stick. But to walk, you need your legs. The legs are given by yourself. Ultimately, so teachers have immense possibility of now becoming greater teachers, greater human beings with the help of Instagrams, WhatsApp, and signals and whatnots, and bottoms and whatnots. And the world has become a Vishwa Brahmanda, something I would call a universe, like many of twinkling stars in the sky. The knowledge is getting open, and technology should help us. And one should be a modern teacher to whatever discipline he belongs, cannot afford to be technology ignorant and illiterate. I'm sorry, there are so many technological hitches we had, because that's also a lesson. Technology depends upon an external factor. It is not inbuilt in us. An external factor like power, like internet connection, etc., etc., etc. And therefore, both are complementary to each other, not competing with each other. If you think competing with each other, one of them become important, the others will get destroyed. Complementary each other, that will become together. Last sentence, friends. The output of technology, whether it is in an abstract form or a concrete form, like a thing, like a mobile phone, which is external to it. Mobile phone is a physical structure. Inside mobile phone, you have unseen millions and millions of bytes, gigabytes you have. And whether seen or unseen, the technology is only a complementary factor, but we can't afford to lose sight of the unseen factors more than the seen factors. Thank you so much. And I'm very, very happy that I could see Razia B showing the most beautiful creation of nature, a little child who is the hope of the entire world. Let us work for that little flower of nature, the little child who knows, who becomes one of the topmost scientists or topmost poets of this world, to inspire so many. The child may become the inspirer. The child inspired me. I'm very, very thankful to Razia Madam and all of you.
Thank
God
you, sir.
bless. And let our country, the last message I have to give. We are born as human beings. Let us not bother about religion. Let us not bother about caste. Let us always say, we belong to one human religion. Through our faith, we will actually realize that human religion. And our faiths, our externality should never be a cause for any hatredness. Let us now pray that the entire country will get rid of whatever hatredness we have, and technology will bring together all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your inspirational talk. We had a great time to hear you today. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your inaugural address. Thank you for giving opportunity to hear you. So it was great hearing to you, sir. So we have another eminent speaker amongst us, Dr. Geeta Prakash ma'am. So to welcome the Dr. Geeta Prakash ma'am, I request Ruman. So we have one more eminent personality, our secretary, sir, to just speak few words. So for we have secretary amongst us. So I request secretary to give the inaugural address. Then later we'll be moving on to Geeta Prakash ma'am. You can unmute at your end. Flip. Yes, sir.
I am very happy to. I am very happy to inaugurate the IQAC organizers. They are organizing 5 days online national level faculty development program in our college that will benefit our thousands of students for the emerging trends in technology future prospective. I am Dr. General Secretary, Central Muslim Association of Karnataka. Abbas College for Women is running under the management of Central Muslim Association of Karnataka. It is an old organization established in the 1907. Since from them, then our organization is serving in the field of education. Now, the 5 days program arranged by IQAC organizers, it will help all the students of our country. The trend of the technology is changes, and every day there is a new turn of technology is affecting the country. So it is very important to go in detail of this opportunity the students have to take and participate in this program. In this 5 days program, there are emergent speakers and educationists, and all are there every day. 5 days, you can learn so many things about the technology. Just now, our today's speaker, Dr. Professor A. Radhakrishnan, has given enough information towards the development of the technology. It is how it is going, helping all these things they have given. All those who are living this opportunity given to me, I hope all of you will take part in this program. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the inaugural address. Now I request Geeta Prakash ma'am to welcome the Geeta Prakash ma'am. I request Ms. Rumana, HOD of Commerce, to welcome the Geeta Prakash ma'am. Ma'am, you can unmute at your end.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you. 2 minutes, ma'am, we have your welcome.
Sure, sure.
And all present here, distinguished guests, respected principal, lecturers, and all the delegates. I am Ms. Rumana Tabasum, HOD of Management. Take this opportunity to welcome and introduce today's guest, Dr. Geeta Prakash, an expert in artificial intelligence and machine learning. Dr. Geeta Prakash has done her graduate from Harvard Business School and PG diploma in environmental law from Natural Law University, Delhi. Further, she has pursued her PhD in optical communication from NITK, Surathkal, and currently she is working as global country manager at Opal Technological Private Limited. Dr. Geeta Prakash is a passionate teacher and a good trainer in technology. She has published several papers in national and international journals and conferences, and also chaired international conference and delivered several lectures in India and abroad. She has worked as a company advisor in forming a certification program of NOCN UK for a period of 30 years in academic and industry. Madam is associated with national and international organization to develop and customize curriculum framework and guide a content on organizational projects. Madam, on behalf of all present here, on behalf of management, principal, and on my own behalf, I welcome you. I also extend a warm welcome to our in-charge principal, Dr. M.S. Vidya Madam, and I also extend a warm welcome to all the HODs of various department, faculty members, and participants who have joined us today. Once again, I welcome one and all for this session. Thank you.
Thank you, Romana, for your warm welcome. Ma'am, can you please unmute at your end?
Yeah, can you hear me?
We can hear you, ma'am.
All right, yeah, thanks. Thanks
Thank you,
for,
ma'am. Sorry for the inconvenience caused here today.
it's okay. I think technology, as much as it has advanced, we definitely have challenges. But I think I would really like to appreciate the efforts taken by Abbas Khan College, because I can see already 100 participants here. And then you're also putting it on live streaming, which means there
Yes,
should
yes,
be,
ma'am.
more numbers. So I think the first and foremost thing I would like to, say here before I start off is, a big round of applause for the institute in itself to mobilize 100 people here, all faculty from different parts of the country. I think that's a commendable performance by the college. So I would like to congratulate you on this before I start off with my talk. So all
Thank you,
organizers,
ma'am.
institution heads, management, I think they have put in a lot of effort to do this. I can see this, because I have delivered innumerable talks, and we have seen, a lot of effort go in from all organizations. So congratulations to your institute, and I also wish that, you should be hosting more of such programs.
Thank you,
So
ma'am.
so let me just switch off my video so that it will save the bandwidth, and I'll have to anyway share my presentation.
Ma'am, you need to
So
share your screen, ma'am.
yeah, I have the option. I think I can
Yes,
screen
ma'am. I have
share
given
it.
you the option.
Yeah. So I will share it and you can tell me if it's visible or not. All right. Yeah. So let me just share it.
You can share the screen,
Is
ma'am.
it
Along
visible?
with video, you can share, ma'am.
Can you see it?
Yes, ma'am. We can see the PPT and you can on your video
Yeah.
also, ma'am.
You really want the video? I thought we could save. I'll pause in between and then come back. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, because for some people, if they've logged in through mobile phones and all, the network may be a little bad. So we will
Right.
save their bandwidth. Okay. Yeah.
I'll make you so.
All right. So, A good afternoon to all faculty members present here. I think it's a great pleasure to be a part of such a big audience. Also, one part of which, which I would be covering in today's session, I will keep it exactly for 1 hour. I know time is very precious, and so we will have it exactly for 1 hour. Also, it would resonate with what Professor Dr. Radhakrishna was saying, that the human touch is very important. So it's really relating to what I'm delivering today. So I'm talking about artificial intelligence. And, we would like to see this happening in and around us in gadgets, in devices, in robots, as we have seen. But how will people really welcome such systems? So that is a thought that we all need to consider as we go along, probably in this presentation or even later. So this is the history of artificial intelligence. So like I said, I will stick to my timing of exactly 1 hour, but I will finish a little early, so if there are questions, then we can take questions. If there's anything in between, please put it in the chat box. After about 10 minutes, I will pause and I will see if there are any questions. We shall answer them, or we will take all questions at the end. So let's see how this goes. So this is the history of AI, and I think the slide speaks for itself, that you can see way back in 1943, people were thinking about it. And I haven't put the most recent ones for various reasons that we will be talking about some of them. So 2015, Amazon, you have Echo, then you have Alexa, you have Siri, so which are able to give you voice-based responses. So this is how we have grown in making systems intelligent. Different ways in which people considered artificial intelligence. They made chatbots, what we see now. We will talk a little about chatbots. There were also seasons where people didn't have enough funding to look at artificial intelligence as a technology in itself. So the question now is, if people had already thought about it, long back, if it is the 1940s, the 1990s, the early 2000s, why is there so much of hype? There is, everybody is speaking about AI and ML. So why has it happened so quickly, so suddenly, and over years it's just grown? So some of the reasons are that the evolution of smartphones and almost every person having a smartphone made it very easy for people to develop these technologies, the first thing. Also, the computational power that is available right now. So earlier, when we were students, like Dr. Radhakrishna said, he got the first computer, in one of the organizations. So similar to that, we also had very few computers initially. There was no computer science branch in itself. So computers were really not available. Computers had, they needed a lot of power to do computation. Computational power in itself was very, very less. So people couldn't do processing. So the knowledge was there, the mathematics was there, the information was there, but the processing could not be done. So that's one of the other reasons why AI actually did not come up so quickly until, and we had these gadgets and devices which could do the processing for us. So what exactly is artificial intelligence? And we talk about AI and ML, artificial intelligence and machine learning, very frequently, right? People keep using these words. So let's try to understand what they are. So you can see, I think these nesting dolls, right? The nested dolls. So where you can put these dolls one inside the other. So as you see, artificial intelligence is the bigger umbrella, or the superset, as we can call it as. Machine learning is the one which makes these systems intelligent. We have deep learning and neural networks, which is a part of deep learning. These are all methods, mechanisms, procedures, libraries, functions, which can make a machine intelligent. intelligent, by making it learn. This machine learning, and what is this artificial intelligence? So artificial intelligence is something that will make a machine or a system or a computer to mimic human intelligence, right? And how it can do this job, it has to learn. So if you take the example of children learning to identify animals, okay, children learning to identify animals, we teach them, you know, you show a dog and you show a cat and then you distinguish. So what happens when the child grows? It is able to recollect these features. It is able to identify the differences. It knows how the dog wags its tail. What does the cat do? And as the child grows, you also teach differences between different kinds of dogs, different kinds of cats. Again, as the kid grows, you teach different kinds of animals which belong to the dog family. Could be a fox, a jackal, a wolf. So progressively, the child learns to identify. It's just not about having 4 legs, a tail, 2 ears, 2 eyes. It's much more than that. The kid learns how's the hair, how are the ears, is it droopy, is it raised, where are the eyes, how is the mouth, what's the difference in the features between the dog and the cat. So this is how the child learns, and over a period of time it is able to do this job of identification, recognition, understanding of what each animal is, what are the features. So that's exactly what we want to do when we are looking at artificial intelligence. So we make machines learn. We teach these machines learning. How do we teach the machines? What do we do? We have algorithms. What do these algorithms do? They extract these features. So you recollect, I've been using the word features. So what happens now? If you have features of a dog, which you have stored, and you have features of some animal which you want to check whether it is a dog or not, you can map it to the features. So that is what is making the machine learn with the features that we have. So if you're looking at the term deep learning, in deep learning, we have more and more intricate details of extracting these features. So if you have to identify a person, you remember the data that we have all given for the Aadhaar card, right? So related to our fingerprints, the eye, all of these things are data that belong to us. It is personalized. It is individualistic. So when you want to map, they will go to the database, check and say, yes, this belongs to the particular person. So sorry, deep learning helps you to extract these features. Now, just to understand what is machine learning, this is exactly what I just described. You have a dog, you extract all the features, and then you do a classification. So you're going to tell whether a dog is a dog or dog, or that animal is not a dog. If you want to tell it is something else, you'll have to do more processing to tell what that animal is. So you can also see deep learning. We won't talk much in detail about deep learning. I'll just cover the basics of artificial intelligence and machine learning. So what exactly does the machine do now? It is able to learn. It is able to get examples. It's able to learn from experience, like the child was able to learn distinguishing different animals. So question is, why do we need machine learning? Why do we need artificial intelligence systems? That is because we want to do different jobs. We want to have more and more advanced features in objects, maybe in machinery. So why do we want this? The society has changed. The needs of the customer has changed. The pros and cons, we will weigh them later, but the requirements have changed. What a person wants, everything has changed. So in order to cater to these requirements, we need these systems. Now, I will explain all of these things in very, very simple terms because I know we have faculty members from different departments. So there is no need for any maths or anything like that. I will only explain it with the help of examples. Okay. So we have three different kinds of machine learning algorithms. We call them as supervised, unsupervised, and reinforced. So we just learn with examples what these mean. So if I say supervised, in very simple terms, what is the meaning of supervision? Supervision is you are trying to monitor somebody, you're trying to supervise somebody. It could be supervision of a PhD student. It could be supervision of a class where students are sitting and learning. It could be supervision of an examination hall where there's a faculty trying to ensure that everything goes well for the exams. So all of this is supervision. So we know what is in store, we know what's happening, we know the outcome. So there is a known factor in this. Unsupervised, as the name says, it is something which, we don't know the outcome, maybe we don't know how it is. Reinforced is including a happens. Whatever I want to do will happen. So you can see this example wherein we have different applications. So please look at the bottom row. Take 10-15 seconds and just have a look at the bottom row examples. What do you see? The first example we will consider. Housing price prediction. What is the meaning of housing price prediction? When you want to buy a house, what all do you consider? Do we have factors? How many, you say, right, 2 BHK, 3 BHK, what is the flooring, what is the wood, what is the door made of, what kind of wood has been used. All of these things will decide the cost of the house. Along with this, what else you would be looking at? The location of the house, right? Where is it located? So when we say it is housing price prediction, we have cost. We also have different features, different elements of the house which will decide on the cost. So if you have to plot a simple graph, we will say it is cost versus number of rooms in the house. Very simple. The next, I will show you a couple of images for this. So you can see the next one is classification. That is next to housing price prediction. It is medical imaging. What is medical imaging? Simple example, if we want to identify a tumor, whether it is cancerous or not, that is malignant or benign tumor. So it is classification. When I say classification, you are putting them into different classes. Next example is customer segmentation and market basket analysis. So what do these actually stand for? As an example, when you buy things online, especially after the pandemic, most of us are doing online shopping. So it will give you a suggestion based on what you have already bought or what others have bought, right? Just give me 1 second. I have a bad throat. So just 1 second. So in customer segmentation and in market basket analysis, what happens? We are trying to find out who has bought a particular product. Is there a recommendation? That is, if you have bought ice cream, should you also buy wafers along with the ice cream? Or if you have bought snacks, biscuits, should you also buy chips along with the biscuits? This is one. This is a recommendation which your online platform will do. What is the other one? It is a recommendation of what you have already bought. So let's say you bought a book by a particular author. What it will tell you is, if you have bought this book, you can also buy another book by the same author. So there is a suggestion of a product based on your purchase and based on somebody else's purchase. This is called as unsupervised learning. We will see why this is unsupervised and why that is called as supervised. The in between one I won't do. The last one I will do, that is reinforcement learning. So what happens in reinforcement learning? We'll take the example of autonomous or driverless cars. So what happens in a driverless car? If it is going on the road, if there is an obstacle such as a human being or an animal, this car has to stop. So what it does, it will click pictures. There is a camera, it will take pictures. It will be able to identify what it is, how it is there a hump, is there a pedestrian crossing. It will identify and make decisions as to when it should apply the brakes and where exactly it should actually stop. So the braking distance is also important. It should not stop just probably a few centimeters away from the obstacle, or it should not even hit the obstacle and then stop. So this is reinforced learning. Reinforced learning is a kind of supervised learning. So in supervised learning, we know the outcome. That is, if you're trying to predict the cost of the house, you have information, and in that information, you should be able to get what you want. That is regression. Another is classification, as the name says. Simple example, classifying. Output is known to us. Like I said, it is supervised. So you know the output. Is it cancerous? It is not cancerous. But if you are looking at unsupervised learning, we don't know what the other customer bought. We don't know what other authors have written, but there is a suggestion that is given to us. You want to buy this book, you want to buy the product. So these are all unsupervised learning examples. I hope the difference is understood. So these are some of the examples that we have. So you can see, I'll explain one or two of them. So you can see in the supervised learning, there is classification. That's what I told you. So image classification and diagnostics. Okay. If you're looking at regression, it could be also forecasting the market. What do we mean by forecasting? Now the festival season will come. So what they will do, based on what happened last year, we can tell more people will buy this particular product. So we are trying to forecast. We know what they bought, so we think they're going to buy these things. This is based on history. Also, weather forecasting, life expectancy. All these things fall under the regression part. Supervised learning, that is what I told you. Targeted marketing, that is telling you that yes, you can buy this. Customer segmentation, that is dividing all the customer baskets, that is this person bought this person bought this. Also recommender system, so suggesting, like Netflix also, you get to know, right? You saw this movie is also there, people saw this, do you want to see this? So that is recommended system. So I'm just focusing on two simple aspects with the 1 hour time that we have. So two other examples of supervised learning. Again, please understand, you know what you want to classify as. You know what prediction you want to make for the cost of the house based on the data that is already there. So in supervised learning, we also have classification of digits, maybe alphabets, maybe, or in your email, you're trying to classify as spam and not spam. So this is all example of supervised learning. So two categories in supervised learning, that is classification and regression. So this is the difference between classification and regression. So in classification, anything that you want to put into two different classes. So you have some green dots and you have some bluish green dots. So you're seeing here, most of them are these greenish bluish dots. Here, most of them are green dots. You can still see some 4 or 5 of them wrongly classified. So this is possible in any method. We will see how do you decide whether your classification is okay or not. This is regression. What is the example we took for regression? To decide on the cost of the house. So as an example, let us say this is some, multiplied by 10. This is the square foot area. So this is multiply everything by 10. So 200, 300, right up to 1000. So this is the square foot area on the x-axis. On the y-axis, let us say it is so many lakhs of rupees, just as an example. So you have information about 400 square foot, how much it costs. So you can see all of these points near the 400 square foot area will be an approximate cost. So if you look at any point in this region, if your house is in that square foot area, you will be able to get the value of the house, that is cost of the house. So this is example for regression. So this is classification, that is regression. What we saw as unsupervised learning, like I said, two categories, that is association, the other is clustering. Clustering is grouping the customers by their behavior in purchasing. Association is what I told you. You bought this, do you want to buy this? So that is associating people with different kinds of products. So two categories of unsupervised learning. Reinforcement learning, again, it's a kind of supervised learning because, like I said, you know what to expect. You want the car to stop. You want, it's also like playing a game. You know, you have a lot of games, right, which you play. So you know what is the outcome. So there you have reinforcement. It's a slightly different kind of an algorithm. I'm not going to discuss the algorithm, just for you to know what is reinforcement learning. So this is a simple block diagram. Again, I'm not going to go through this in detail, but this is how what happens here is that there is a learning algorithm. What is the learning algorithm? Same example we will take. Car should stop. Okay, car should stop. So why it should stop? Is it just a stop sign? Is it a pedestrian? Is it a crossing for a person, but no person is going? There are only zebra stripes, so the car has to stop. So there are different reasons for the car to stop. So outcome is car should stop, but why it should stop, how it should stop, all of these things are by its experience through machine learning algorithms, right? So what is the mechanism that it has to decide to make the car stop? So this is a category, a kind of supervised learning, but there's a whole lot of machine learning that has to be done. So we said there are different kinds of machine learning algorithms. So how do you decide what algorithm I have to use? So basic question would be, what is the data that you have? What is it that you want to do? And how quickly you want your algorithms to give you results? What are the number of features? Because more the number of features, more would be the processing, right? So If you say just 4 legs, 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 1 tail, then all animals will fall into the same category. Almost all animals will fall into the same category, except for animals like elephant and all, which has a trunk and all. But I'm just giving you as an example. But if you start putting more and more features, processing is more and more, and your identification also starts getting better and better. So your choice of the machine learning algorithms is based on what is it that you want to do with your data and how accurate you want it. You want in 100 animals, all of them to be identified properly. Then you need to have very, very good machine learning algorithms, lot of processing which needs to be done. How much of error will you allow? Can you allow for error? If it is an autonomous car, how can you allow a car to hit a person or an object, right? So you can't have any error in that. So what is the accuracy? And we said the person has to learn. So the machine has to learn. How are you going to train? How much time is required for training? All of these things you need to decide on the machine learning algorithm. Some mathematics is required, but if you don't know, but you're still interested, it is possible for you to do AI and ML, because we do have platforms which will support you to learn and do AI and ML applications. So nothing to worry. This is just for people to understand. If you have a mathematics background, if you have science, all people who have already done some learning in mathematics, it will help you. If you are interested in including this mathematical concepts, it will be great. But otherwise, it's still possible for you to learn. Again, under classification, we have a whole lot of algorithms I've listed. Just if somebody can remember them, that yes, I saw this in a workshop, that is more than enough. But in this 1 hour, we won't be able to cover any of these things. So like I said, regression. In regression, we have categories like logistic regression and linear regression. Classification, we have decision tree classification, random forest classification, just for you to understand. So in regression, different kinds of regression algorithms which we can use. So I was trying to tell you that we have machine learning algorithms, but what's the assurance that your algorithm is a good one? What is the, if it is not an okay one, then how close it is to the best possible result? So we define what is called as a loss function. In very, very simple words, it will tell you how far away you are from the exact prediction of your output. So that is what your loss function will tell you. So here you can see there is a straight line. All of these points are not lying on the straight line. So if they are very, very far away, then this straight line is really not a good way of giving results for your machine learning algorithm. That's what we are trying to say. Okay, let me just pause here and see if there are any questions. Okay, no questions here. Okay, no questions here. So let me just go back to my screen. I have about 25 minutes more, or how much time do I have? I can't hear you. If you can put it in the chat box, that will be great. I still can't hear you. So about 20 minutes, I presume. I will just go back to my screen. Let me just share my screen again. Can you see my screen? Is it visible? Am I audible or not? I don't see any response. Okay, fine. Okay, all right. Yeah, let me just go back to my screen very quickly. Yeah, I get one S there, no problem. So let me not waste my time or your time. Okay, let me just share it very quickly. Okay, so
You're audible, ma'am.
all right, yeah, thank you so much. Yeah. So these are the recommended systems that I spoke about, I explained to you, right? So it could be you as a person, which books you're reading, which are similar articles. We have two users who have used different objects, maybe who've read different books, maybe, but then there is a recommendation based on what you have done and what the other person has done. So these are unsupervised learning examples, which is your recommender systems, right? So for us to know any product that is similar to what you've used or what somebody else has used. So these are recommended systems. Computer vision is another application that is very, very essential in artificial intelligence and machine learning systems, which will help you to get images, videos, and all of these things. Best example is when the car is moving. For your autonomous car, you have a whole lot of images and videos that are pictures that are taken. It will have a look at it and then decide what action it has to take. So I have a couple of videos to play. I think I'll just play one of them and then I will go back to my presentation. So okay, great. So let me just play one of them. We'll see how it goes. So this is an excellent application of biodiversity. Uh, so what they have done here is to uh, identify animals which are poached. Just give me 1 second.
Ma'am, you have unmuted. Ma'am, you can unmute yourself. Hello?
Yeah, I am
Yes, ma'am.
just doing it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm just doing it. Yeah, I'll just share the screen. Just give me 1 second. Also, tell me if it starts echoing. I don't know how the
No, no, ma'am.
sometimes.
It's not echoing. You can continue, ma'am.
Sometimes the Northwest were so full of wild salmon that the fishermen like to say that you could cross the river on the fish's backs. But
Ma'am,
today,
it's not clear. Voice is not clear.
Okay, so what is happening is the moment I share the video,
Yes,
uh,
ma'am.
my mic is getting muted automatically.
Okay, okay. Because YouTube is getting played now, ma'am.
Yeah, that's why. But can you all hear it? You
Yes,
can
ma'am.
hear
You all can hear it.
right. That's okay. Even if I get muted, it's okay. Let me just share the screen. Okay.
But that voice
Just
of YouTube is not that clear, ma'am.
is it? Oh, okay. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll finish my presentation and then I will get back to the video. So we'll not waste time, okay? So that at least I can put it on the chat box, right? So I'll just finish it. I'll go to another application that is on natural language processing. So I hope the screen is visible to you. So these are very simple examples of the chatbots that you see. Lot of institutes, right? So especially during admission, they would have incorporated these chatbots to help prospective students. Also available in a lot of banking applications, So chatbots are a very good application for, AI and ML applications, specifically with natural language processing, where our natural language here, it is English, so it would be speech recognition, it is text analysis, it is converting text to audio, all of these things. So you have some editors, right? Grammarly and all. So they are all editors that are based on the concepts of natural language processing. So let's look at some other applications. So some of them we spoke, right? That is Amazon maybe, or Flipkart, or any of these online shopping portals which can give you suggestions. A lot of other organizations also use this. Some of them do prediction for sales forecasting, digital marketing. Walmart, which is the grocery chain, so they use this for seasonal purchase. Then they will find out who sorry. So what kind of products have people bought? Would there be a possibility that they will buy it in the next season? So this kind of prediction is also done. So there is an application in SBI, where they are able to understand from the whether the customer is happy or sad. So it gives them good feedback. Have invested for, we will see about finance and economics, how it is used in finance and economics. In mobile phones, you have a whole lot of AI applications. Language translation is there, and right, whether the light is sufficient to click a picture, understand, and then tell you whether it is okay or not. So a lot of mobile phones. So AI and finance. So one example is to track withdrawal. So as an example, sorry, yeah. So as an example, let us say you go draw money from the ATM machine, right? So every person will have a particular, some variation in different months, but more or less it is the same pattern. So let us say somebody takes your has access to your ATM card, and they start withdrawing money. Immediately, if there is a difference in the pattern, the bank is able to sense and tell you that yes, this is a different pattern. Are you the one who is actually withdrawing the money? So they'll immediately, there was an example where the bank actually blocked a credit card by using this AI and ML application, because the pattern of withdrawal was not matching the actual pattern of withdrawal which was happening over the years. So very good application in banks. And in finance, you can do stock market prediction, sales forecasting, we saw, right? And also credit card and loan decisions. So they have mechanisms to get the data of people who applied for credit cards and loans. So trying to think and understand whether this person will be able to pay or not, and what is this based upon the history of the transactions that the person has got. So you have algorithms which can actually do this. And we have also process automation. So a lot of systems get automated by using AI and ML. We saw chatbots, virtual assistants, which are there on the websites, and a lot of advice also. So they have based on the text that you put. Sometimes there are mistakes also. Okay, we'll be looking at challenges. So if you don't put your question properly, you'll actually get wrong answers from the chatbot. So there are robots, which I mean by robots, I mean the chatbots, which can also give people advices in financial services. So what used to happen? So what is another very interesting thought for us to look into is, if you have to go through the data sets which are there in the bank, okay, and to extract some specific information, then the time that is taken to manually do this job is very, very exhaustive. So if you have an AI and an ML application where you will set, this is the filtering that I want to do, this is the data that I want to extract, all of these things, if you set it, make it automated, you can save a lot of man hours. It's also used in the pharmaceutical industry. I have a video. I'll see how much time I have and I'll share it, or I'll definitely put it in the chat box for you people to look at. It's a brilliant video. So where they are making different drugs for different diseases. So what happens during drug manufacture? So for a disease, if they have to make this, then there are different molecular structures. So they will build this, they will test it. So if you're looking at building, testing, and then redesigning the molecular structure, they take anywhere between 6 to 8 months. But now with AI and ML, what they do is they do this, they design these molecular structures with these algorithms, which will tell what is the, what is the property of this particular drug, what it can do. So they have reduced the time. So what happens, a lot of molecular structures can be eliminated because they will understand these structures may not work for a human being. So earlier you didn't have such a system. So you have to really try. And then, if you have some different testing mechanisms, you should figure out, yes, this drug may not work and things like that. So that one very good example in the pharmaceutical industry is also there. Of course, I think Siri and Alexa, you've all seen. Very good example of text to audio, audio to text. All of these things you have seen. So it uses, we said in the deep learning category, we said it uses neural networks, which are very similar to the nervous system, neural network system in our human body. It uses a very similar system to process. One example which I would really like to talk about, I'll skip all of these things, is the autonomous vehicle. So you can see this is how the autonomous car would be. A lot of sensors. LiDAR is a light sensing detector. There's a camera, there's a radar. So all the information will be collected. Okay, all the information will be collected, and this is how it will look like. So you can see here, these are the inputs. It will process it, and these are the outputs. So what all is in the output, you can see here: automated drive, object detection, mapping. So you'll have a map for that particular area. Also the safety system. So how do the safety systems get activated? All of these things become the output. So you have an input from the sensors. There is a processing unit which has all the algorithms, and there is an output which will generate the signals for your actuator to get activated. So what are the challenges with AI? So we saw a whole lot of applications. There's a very good application in cookery also. So again, I'll put forth those video links, which will be very good for you to just go back and view them. So where they are able to suggest different recipes by looking at the different ingredients, how much people have been putting into it, and how they have been mixing the different ingredients. So it's a very interesting, it's already done in a couple of restaurants. So you can have a look at that as well. So let's look at the challenges with AI. Like I said, computational power is a very, very heavy requirement. These algorithms need a whole lot of computational power, and there'll be a lot of heat also that is generated. I'm sure you'd have experienced, right? Your laptops become very hot, you keep it on for a very long time. Of course, now we have different integrated chips, but still there's a lot of computational power. There's also a lot of heat that gets generated. Also, there's so much of data. Where do you store the data? How do you manage the data? So we have heard of cloud, right? Everybody will say, yeah, go store on cloud. But then cloud is quite expensive. And people who want to use the cloud should have access to it. Lot of organizations may not have sufficient funds to do this. So this could be one of the challenges for smaller companies dealing with AI and ML. Also, trust deficit. So trust is something that is, if you're looking at unsupervised, it is an output that we don't know, right? So how do we know that this algorithm is good, this is fine? How can it give us solutions to different kinds of problems? Also, people have a lot of faith in humans. So we just heard, right, what Professor Dr. Radhakrishna was saying. You have everything, but you still need a human to do a lot of these things. So you need to walk with your own legs. So it's basically like that. A lot of people think that humans, the accuracy that you can get from humans, the faith that they have in humans is much better than that they have. So it's not that it can't be done, but it is a challenge that people have to address. Next is data privacy and security. Security means what? If it is our house, we would like to protect it with all kinds of things that nobody should enter, right? So that is, we don't want anybody to take away our data. Next is, who will get access to our data? So all our data is available to everybody. What will they do with our data? What is the privacy that I have? What is the security that I have? A lot of issues. People are also worried about bias. So bias is that if there is a wrong identification that is made, so then the decision is wrong. So some application can be in favor of somebody else. So that is
Sorry to interrupt, ma'am.
Yeah.
5 minutes, ma'am.
Yes, I'm done. I just have two more slides.
Yeah.
On time. Yeah, I have the clock in front of me. Thank you so much. I will
Yeah.
wind up. Yeah. The next challenge is data scarcity. That is, if everybody says all my data is private, all my data is secure with me, I'm not giving the data to anybody. How can you build recommender systems? Nobody wants to tell which movie they watched. You also don't want to tell. So how can anybody make a prediction telling that this movie is good for you, you can watch it. This product is good for you, you can buy it. So there is issues about getting enough data if everybody stops sharing data. A lot of legal issues also. That is, who will be held responsible? We had this question, right? If an autonomous car crashes, who is responsible? Maybe the driver is there, but the driver is not driving. Is the car manufacturer responsible? Is the person who wrote the algorithm responsible? Who made the machine part? So nobody knows who is actually responsible. Who should be held responsible? Also, intellectual property rights. We all talk so much about IPR. So it is a collaborative effort. So who wrote the algorithm? Same issue. Who wrote the code? Whose mission it is? Who holds the intellectual property rights? So all of these things are big questions about artificial intelligence and machine learning. So what's the future now? So is it that the robots would be taking away all the jobs? No, not really. You'll still need humans to operate them. But if you have robots to do a lot of these jobs which are unsafe for people, maybe we need to put in a lot of emotional intelligence into all of these systems. So some of the future aspects of machine learning, and yeah, these are some of the references. So I think on the dot, I've been able to complete the presentation.
Yes, ma'am. So any of the participants have any doubts? Any of the participants have any doubts? You can please raise your hand so that I can unmute you,
Put it in the chat box. That would be
or
good.
you can put in the chat box. Any participants have any doubt?
So
So
I will put, yeah, I'll just put the video links in the chat box, which requesting people to, when you find time, of course, they're just very good videos. It would be like a simple pastime also, but you can have a look at them.
Sure, ma'am.
I have 2, 3 more. Just give me a minute so that I can put it in the chat box.
Okay, ma'am.
So I hope there was some information conveyed to people and they would be able to, go back and say, yes, I remember something from the talk. That is all we require. So I hope that went well.
Yes, ma'am. So,
Oh, yes, there are plant vegetation. Yes, there are a lot of examples. Who is there? Yeah. So if I have, yeah, Ranjit Kumar, yes. So just give me. So if there is any conclusion that the college would like to draw, let them draw. By the time I will put the link for this person
thank
about
you,
plant.
ma'am.
Sure,
Okay, ma'am. You can just drop the link to the chat box, ma'am, so that anybody can. So we have come to the end of the session. So I request Sadia Halima to propose vote of thanks for today's session. Over to Sadia.
Good evening, everyone. It has been such an honor to be a part of this wonderful event. On behalf of our institute, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our honorable chief guest, Professor K. Radhakrishna, for inaugurating today's FDP program. Thank you, sir. Now I thank our esteemed resource person, Dr. Geeta Prakash. Thank you, ma'am. The session was very informative. Now we have a true insight into what artificial intelligence is really all about. I thank our secretary, Dr. Zahiruddin Ahmed, for his indispensable guidance and support. Thank you, sir. I thank our in-charge principal, Dr. M.S. Vidya, for flawlessly coordinating and planning this productive event. Thank you, ma'am. Sincere thank you to the staff secretary, Dr. Sayada Tabassum, for her cooperation. I thank all the department heads and my fellow colleagues for participating in today's event. Once again, I thank all of you for making today's event a success. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Sadia. Thank you for your vote of thanks. I thank all the participants. I request all the participants to please join back tomorrow's session at the same time, 2:30, for the new topic of today's aviation and its economic growth. So please join everyone tomorrow at 2:30 for the second day of our FDP session. Feedback link will be given only at the last day after the valedictory float. So thank you, Geeta ma'am. Thank you for sparing your time and giving us a valuable information. And thank our in-charge principal, Dr. M.S. Vidya, and thank Radhakrishna sir, and thank all the participants. Thank you. See you tomorrow at the same time, 2:30.
Thanks and take care, all of you. And
thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations to the college again.
Thank you, ma'am. And sorry for the inconvenience caused at the start of the program. Sorry for the participants and sorry for you also.
No problem, no problem.
Thank you, ma'am.